Southern Thailand, a land of striking contrasts. Lush forests rise beside turquoise waters, fishing boats drift across calm seas, and towns buzz with life. Markets overflow with colorful fruits and aromatic spices, while mosques and Buddhist temples stand side by side, symbols of a region steeped in history and diversity. Yet beneath this beauty lies a hidden story, one of conflict, resilience, and human struggle. For decades, southern Thailand has endured a quiet war, a conflict rarely seen by outsiders, yet profoundly shaping the lives of millions. This is not just a story of battles or political power. It is a story of identity, of belonging, and of the human desire to be recognized. As we journey through this land, we will uncover the roots of the insurgency, explore the experiences of those caught in its shadow, and examine the fragile threads of hope that still weave through the region. To understand this conflict, we must first understand the land and the people. The insurgency is concentrated in 3 provinces, Patani, Yala, and Narathiwat, home to roughly 2 million people, mostly Malay Muslims. Their language, culture, and traditions are distinct, tracing back centuries before modern Thailand existed. Historically, these lands were part of the Patani Sultanate, an Islamic kingdom with its own governance, customs, and identity. But in the early 20th century, Siam, now Thailand, annexed the region. To Bangkok, it was a matter of national unity and territorial sovereignty. But for the locals, it felt like intrusion. Imagine living in a home built by your ancestors, only to have someone rearrange every room and change the rules of living. This sense of displacement, cultural, spiritual, and political, forms the foundation of the insurgency. Daily life in these provinces carries echoes of history. Markets are alive with merchants and children, yet the weight of identity lingers in the background. Mosques call the faithful to prayer, yet nearby temples stand as reminders of a nation that prioritizes a different culture and religion. Every stone, every street, every conversation holds layers of tension and longing, the past never far from the present.
The roots of the Southern Thailand Insurgency lie in identity and the struggle to preserve it. Throughout the 20th century, the Thai government promoted a vision of Thainess, emphasizing the Thai language, Buddhist traditions, and loyalty to the monarchy. Across most of Thailand, this unified the nation. But in the south, it often felt like erasure. Schools taught exclusively in Thai, sidelining the Malay language. Children recited prayers and learned history that did not reflect their heritage. Local customs were overlooked or discouraged. Identity is the soul of a community. When your language is silenced, when your faith is questioned, when your traditions are dismissed, it creates a deep sense of exclusion. For generations of Malay Muslims in Patani, Yala, and Narathiwat, this exclusion was not abstract. It was lived daily, in schools, in government offices, in the stories told and untold. Resentment simmered quietly, waiting for the conditions that might ignite it. Every law, every school curriculum, every policy that ignored Southern identity became a stitch in a larger tapestry of tension. And tension, if left unchecked, can unravel in unexpected ways.
By the mid-20th century, this simmering resentment erupted into action. In the 1940s and 50s, separatist movements began to form, seeking autonomy or independence.
They trained in dense jungles, ambushed government patrols, and carried out targeted attacks against symbols of state authority. To Bangkok, these were acts of terror. To the rebels, they were acts of survival and dignity. Imagine waking each morning in a village where both insurgents and government soldiers patrol the streets. Every decision, every step carries risk. The conflict became woven into daily life. Children played under watchful eyes. Families farmed amid tension. Communities endured a delicate balance between fear and resilience. Trust eroded. The notion of safety became fleeting, and the struggle for identity escalated into a struggle for survival. Even in these early waves, the conflict was as much about culture as it was about politics. Symbols of Malay identity were targeted, suppressed, or feared. The cycle of fear and retaliation began, setting a pattern that would last for decades.
Violence ebbed and flowed over the decades, but the early 2000s marked a resurgence. In 2004, attacks escalated dramatically. Militants raided military depots, seizing weapons that would fuel new waves of violence. That same year, two tragedies shocked the nation. At Crusade Mosque, militants seeking refuge were killed during a military assault. Months later, at Tak Bai, 78 protesters died in military custody, suffocated in trucks while in detention. These events ignited anger, despair, and a renewed wave of insurgency. The post-2004 violence spread rapidly. Bombings targeted markets, schools, and government offices. Teachers were attacked, accused of imposing Thai language and culture. Monks, as symbols of Buddhist authority, became targets. Life in the Deep South became unpredictable. Every day presented a new gamble. Could one safely walk to the market? Would children return from school? Fear and resilience coexisted, shaping a generation's understanding of life in this region. Amid the devastation, families continued to farm, pray, and celebrate life. Communities found ways to survive even as shadows of violence loomed. This era left deep scars, but also a stubborn determination to endure. Behind statistics lie deeply human experiences. A child waits for a parent who never returns. A teacher fears each day in a classroom that might be attacked. A soldier struggles with the tension between duty and conscience. These are the stories rarely seen in headlines, yet they define the lived reality of the insurgency. Amid loss and grief, acts of courage and humanity persist. Buddhist monks and Muslim clerics have shared meals, engaged in dialogue, and worked together toward reconciliation. Schools have begun teaching both Thai and Malay, honoring the identities of children. Communities find ways to coexist, planting seeds for a future of understanding and peace. In the darkest times, even small gestures, a shared meal, a handshake, a cooperative project, illuminate the path forward. Human resilience, compassion, and hope continue to shine through the turmoil.
The Southern Thailand Insurgency is not unique. Around the world, communities face struggles over identity and autonomy. In Mindanao, Muslim populations fought for self-determination. In Aceh, separatist movements challenged central authority. In Northern Ireland, religious and cultural tensions sparked decades of violence. Across continents, the lesson is clear: suppress identity and resistance emerges. Identity conflicts resemble tightly knotted threads. Pull violently and the knot tightens. Approach with patience, understanding, and respect, and slowly it may unravel. Southern Thailand is one knot in a global tapestry, a reminder that peace cannot be imposed but must be nurtured through dialogue, empathy, and justice.
Today, violence persists, but intensity has decreased. Small attacks occur, yet large-scale confrontations are rarer. Malaysia has mediated peace talks, bringing together the Thai government and insurgent groups. These talks are fragile, often delayed or stalled, yet they represent hope. Skepticism remains as communities question whether words will translate into meaningful change. Daily life continues cautiously. Markets reopen, schools welcome students, and families navigate their routines under a watchful eye. Past scars linger, yet so does resilience. Every handshake and dialogue, every child playing in a safe space represents a step toward reconciliation. The future of Southern Thailand lies in recognition of culture, faith, and language. True peace requires healing wounds left open for generations. Education is vital. In classrooms teaching both Thai and Malay, children learn tolerance, respect, and the value of coexistence. Empowering local communities is equally essential. When people have a say in how they are governed, when traditions are respected alongside national identity, cycles of violence can be broken. Peace is not merely the absence of conflict, it is the presence of justice and belonging. Only then can a new chapter begin.
The Southern Thailand Insurgency is more than a regional conflict. It is a reflection of humanity's universal need for identity, dignity, and respect. It warns of the consequences of ignoring cultural voices and inspires through stories of courage and resilience. Peace is not given, it is chosen. It is cultivated by individuals who refuse to let fear and division define their communities. The story of Southern Thailand is still unfolding, but it teaches the world a critical lesson. Through dialogue, understanding, and respect, even the deepest wounds can begin to heal. In a land marked by both beauty and suffering, hope persists, quietly, resiliently, like the calm after a storm.